Well, I think Breath of Fire is so unique because it brings together voices and creators that are maybe not trained formally, um, but opens up the space and provides tools and provides conversations that are really kind of the heart of a true creative community. So, although we have writers, I mean, at all levels, and we do have people who are, very highly trained and did MFAs and the likes. What's really powerful is when you begin to see the relationships across the, um, that are people who are, have day jobs, but they've been carrying around these stories in their hearts and have not had an opportunity to sit down and feel confident to not only write them down but to read them out loud and to be supported in a in a real feedback that is I think the feedback that we get in the writing communities is really about building up the people that we are working with. And so I think Breath of Fire Latina Theater Ensemble, it's the only Latina theater ensemble in Orange County, which that in and of itself is unique. But again, collapsing those relationships that are supposed to be in a writing space and making it a place where, again, we believe that art is a human right, that being able to write down your story, to affirm who you are through your storytelling, and to explore other people's stories through storytelling, that it should not belong to any one person or any one group, and everyone should have the right to access that. My name is Adriana Alba. I'm board president for Breath of Fire Latina Theater Ensemble. And if you would like to hear more about a unique theater event called Gathering the Fire, please listen to this conversation. Gathering the Fire is our very first convening of Ensemble since before the pandemic in person. So it's literally a gathering up of the fire. What really made Breath of Fire unique in the organization was the collective of writers that came about and who served as ensemble. And so we've been operating as, just like for the most part, just like everybody else through Zoom and coordinating something in person has been very challenging still, even after the pandemic. And so on March 4th at Gathering the Fire, it'll be our first open reading. It will take place at the theater at Grand Central Art Center at 6:30 until, I don't know, I'm going to say 8 o'clock about. But again, it's our space that night. So if it goes a little bit over or less, it's very much the programming is meant to bring us back together and to share pieces that are still crisp and new, and maybe we haven't shared with anybody just yet, because we've been away and because we haven't had a chance to be in front of an audience. And so it's March 4th is actually a very busy night downtown Santa Ana. There's the art walk, and I know that there's also Boca de Oro, but for us, it's as a part of the downtown Santa Ana artist community, it's the first time that we open up our doors to the public. So it's exciting. It's a little bit scary, but it's also our attempt to relaunch as an organization that again brings community together. And even though we survived during the pandemic and the closure through our stage stories that were over Zoom, and those were very successful, and our classes were always full, and registration was great. But Gathering the Fire, we miss each other, and it's going to be beautiful to just be around our friends and to hear what we've all been up to. We have in the lineup, we have obviously our artistic director, Sarah Guerrero, our literary director, Diana Burbano, but also old friends that we really miss, such as Natalia Valle. She just completed an MFA, and she's got so much, gosh, she's such a talented voice, and we're Elizabeth Sekaresh, which I miss so much, um, Angela Podaca, Yolanda Mendiveles, who has been working on several pieces, both about you know uh, 1960s Mexican American civil rights movement. Margot Rofe, who is a part of our board, but has been with us for the past year. This would be maybe her first time that hopefully we get to hear a new piece of hers over in person. Um, my goodness, I'll be reading. I forgot about myself, but I'll be reading a couple of pieces. Um, and Tiffany McQuay, I believe, is going to be reading for us too. So I'm just, and again, it's also an open reading, so we're hoping that old friends who do stop by that will hopefully share as well. Also, Elvia Susana Rubalcaba, who's going to be one of our teaching artists. She's one of the artists who's about to launch our Rio de Mi Vida poetry series. And it'll be a good opportunity for all of us to just see each other again and hear what we're up to. What I'm looking forward to in gathering the fire is just to have an audience. I think having an audience is going to be, again, it's a lot of the pieces I've never read out loud, so, or to anybody. So I feel a little bit, I feel a little bit scared because, again, there's some, even though it's awkward to do this Zoom thing, it's also very, I don't know, I'm used to it now. Again, it's looking people in the eye when you're reading and hearing your voice say something in a room full of people. I think that that's a very, we're not, again, I'm not in the practice anymore. So I can't wait. I would like the audience to remember what it's like. And I would like the audience to feel what we've been missing, which I don't think most of us, um, once again, because I'm expecting that most of the audience will be old friends. It's like what they say, like you really don't know what you've been missing till you've lost it. But I think being back together will be a reminder of what brought us together in the first place, and it's being validated, being supported, being celebrated. And that's part of why we write. I think part of why we write is because we're reaching out to connect to others. And so I'm hoping that the moment kind of is, we created this theme of gathering the fire as a way to frame our season, to frame our year. And so at this point, I feel like it'll be a launch for where we want to go. Viewers must attend Gathering the Fire if you want to, once again, see community-based creativity at its best, at its finest, and really building up new voices and supporting new voices that are emerging in local theater, and nurturing space for voices that are underrepresented and sometimes unheard by most. So this would be the place if you want to see what's coming to the future of Orange County writing and playwriting as well. I am Adriana Alba, board president for Breath of Fire Latina Theater Ensemble, and I hope to see you at our Gathering the Fire open reading this Saturday, March 4th at Grand Central Arts Center Theater at 6:30. The event is free, but we hope that you'll participate as an audience member, and we would really appreciate all the support and donations. That if you'd like more information, you could go to our website, breathoffire.org.